Hello everyone, welcome to Open China. On November 26, a rare high-level fire broke out at Hongfu Court in Taipo, Hong Kong, marking the most severe fire since the 1997 handover of the city from British to Chinese rule. The fire department deployed at least 108 fire trucks and 767 firefighters to battle the blaze, which turned an entire estate into a terrifying inferno. The incident resulted in at least 36 deaths, including a 37-year-old firefighter who tragically lost his life. In addition, 279 people are missing, and 33 others are hospitalized. 7 are in critical condition. The news has shocked the entire city. As of the early morning of November 27th, the fire was still not fully under control, with thick smoke continuing to blanket the area. Reports suggest the fire started on the scaffolding outside the wall of Hongcheng Block. The flames spread rapidly along the bamboo scaffolding, quickly engulfing several buildings, including Hong Tai and Hong Sun blocks, and even entering apartments. The intensity of the fire was so alarming that many witnesses were horrified. Videos circulating on social media show the initial fire starting on the lower floors of Hongcheng Block, where the flames were still relatively small. The fire department initially classified the fire as a level 3 alarm. However, the flames spread so quickly that people on site were shouting, "The fire's spreading!" and "Why isn't the alarm going off? What's going on?" In less than 10 minutes, the fire had grown uncontrollable, with one witness shouting, "It's burning all the way to the top! It's over!" The sound of cracking and roaring flames made the scene look even more horrifying. The fire was soon upgraded to a level 4 alarm, and later to the highest level, level 5. The fire eventually spread to at least 4 buildings, engulfing the entire Hongfu estate. Firefighters worked tirelessly for hours, spraying water to extinguish the flames while also trying to enter the smoke-filled lower floors and stairwells to rescue residents. Some residents waved for help from their windows, while smoke poured from certain units. During this disaster, a 37-year-old firefighter, Ho Wai-ho, who had been with the department for 9 years, tragically lost his life. Fire Services Director Yong Ngang-gin explained that Ho arrived at the scene at 3:01 p.m. to assist with rescue efforts. Around 3:30 p.m., he lost contact. Search efforts were immediately initiated, and by 4:01 p.m., Ho was found near the elevator of Hongcheng Block, severely burned on his face. He was rushed to Prince Wales Hospital, but was later declared dead at 4:45 p.m. His death has left the city mourning and deeply saddened. Some netizens expressed deep sorrow, saying, "I'm truly heartbroken. I hope there are no more casualties, and that all firefighters remain safe. May God bless them." Reports also mentioned that another firefighter was sent to the hospital for heat exhaustion. Inside the hospital, several firefighters in golden suits were covered in smoke, with some requiring oxygen masks and lying unconscious on stretchers. Medical staff were seen rushing to assist. Some doctors even went directly to the fire to help with the rescue efforts, highlighting the severity of the situation. This rare and devastating fire has quickly gained international media attention, with major outlets like the BBC, the New York Times, and several Japanese media organizations extensively covering the incident. The BBC even made it the headline on its website for a time. The New York Times specifically pointed out that the building's exterior wall had a bamboo scaffolding, which is very common in Hong Kong's construction and maintenance, but this material is highly flammable, potentially causing the fire to spread quickly. The BBC also noted that Hong Kong still widely uses bamboo scaffolding for building exteriors, unlike many large cities that have switched to metal scaffolding. Following the fire, many Hong Kong residents took to social media to express their shock and anger. Some said, "It's so terrifying. I've never seen such an extreme fire before." Others pointed fingers at the contractors and foreign labor issues, with some commenting, "Hong Kong didn't have so many accidents like this. Now it's mainly mainland workers, smoking all the time, throwing cigarette butts everywhere. It's like this now, and there's no way to complain." In the New Territories Life Network social media group, someone posted, "A resident even caught maintenance workers smoking near the scaffolding." Another person wrote, "This is the result of hiring cheap foreign labor." Some netizens also questioned the government's response, saying, "Where's the government's emergency response team? Where have they gone now?" As of the time of this report, the fire in Taipo has not been extinguished, and the number of people trapped inside the buildings remains unknown. The death toll is expected to rise. Some residents at the scene were holding up cardboard signs with their family members' names, anxiously asking if anyone had seen their relatives. This is the second Level 5 fire since Hong Kong's handover. The cause of the fire is still under investigation, but the scale of the incident, the number of the affected residents, the heavy casualties, and issues such as bamboo scaffolding, faulty fire alarms, construction supervision, and fire exits will all become major points of public concern. Some comments even suggest, since Hong Kong's return to China, many aspects have been regressing drastically, except for the economy. Safety and public security are now resembling Urumqi in Xinjiang, and the rate of decline is just as shocking as this fire, beyond imagination. While the fire in Hong Kong has yet to be extinguished, the Chinese government continues to fan the flames of public opinion, attempting to create the narrative that Japan is unsafe and Chinese people are fleeing Japan in large numbers. However, this narrative was quickly disproven by reality. On November 24th, several Chinese state-run media outlets published reports claiming that Chinese people are flocking to airports in Japan to return home. They accompanied these reports with implying that airports like Haneda and Narita were as busy as during Chinese New Year. However, when Chinese netizens in Japan were asked about the situation, they quickly debunked the claim. One user in Japan calmly responded, "I haven't heard of a large number of Chinese people heading back to China." Another added, "The 1 million Chinese living in Japan are still here. People are going to work or school. No one's running away." Others joked, "If there's a line, it's because flights were cancelled, so there are fewer options." Some even exposed the media's exaggeration, saying, "Flights to Japan are still full. Why aren't they reporting that?" These responses, like cold water on a fire, completely washed away the illusion of a mass exodus from Japan. The government loudly advertised free ticket refunds, but that claim also quickly fell apart in the face of reality. On November 15th, several airlines announced that flights can be canceled for free before the end of December. Many travelers believed this and rushed to apply for refunds, only to find themselves facing major issues. One netizen complained, "I paid 14,000 yuan and they only refunded me 200. Another said the travel agency charged them 60% for cancellation, and complaints were ignored. One person even revealed that the agency had claimed the hotel couldn't refund them, but when they emailed the hotel directly, they received an immediate response. "We can give you a full refund and understand your situation." It became clear where the real issue lay. Netizens criticized the situation, saying things like, "Anyone who believes this is a fool. The war hasn't even started, and they've already bankrupted the airline. And Japan has lost a lot, but these guys in China have probably lost even more." The sarcastic remarks and anger mixed together, and it seemed everyone could see through the intentions of certain people. Meanwhile, a large number of Chinese tourists continued to flock to the streets of Japan, visiting Kyoto, enjoying hot springs, and taking pictures of the autumn leaves. But when Japanese reporters approached them with a mobile translation app and asked, "What do you think about General Secretary Xi Jinping's call to avoid traveling to Japan?" the mood changed instantly. A male tourist from Shanghai, upon hearing the name Xi Jinping, visibly recoiled, took a step back, and repeatedly said, "I don't know, I don't understand, sorry." A female tourist, who had been speaking happily, suddenly became frightened when she saw the translation on screen, muttered, "I can't say this," and quickly ran off. The Japanese reporter was left in shock, muttering to himself, "Chinese tourists run away as soon as they hear Xi Jinping's name." This video has gone viral on overseas platforms, with millions of views. Netizens are mocking the situation, saying things like, "Real Xi Jinping censorship," "Afraid to talk about Xi," and "Avoiding the plague." One commenter added, "On X, if you mention Xi Jinping in a reply, 80% of simplified Chinese accounts will disappear instantly." Off-camera, another wave of pressure is rising in China. Despite official media promoting the message, "Do not go to Japan," travelers at Shanghai Pudong Airport heading to Japan still have long queues. Many people say, "Politics has nothing to do with me, I'm still going on my holiday." However, travel agencies and airlines are canceling flights to Japan on a large scale, causing ticket prices to skyrocket. And that's why many people are forced to cancel their trips. A state-owned enterprise employee revealed that even approved leave was forcibly canceled. The higher-ups said, "We can't go." In this politically driven narrative war, Japan's streets remain brightly lit. Chinese people are still going about their lives in convenience stores, restaurants, and schools, while the panic drama online continues to escalate. The contrast is stark, making the absurdity even more glaring. The Chinese Communist Party is attempting to create a narrative of insecurity, cutting flight routes, and pressuring travel agencies to create an atmosphere of evacuation. But Chinese people living in Japan see the reality clearly. Nothing has collapsed, and daily life goes on as usual. The chaotic evacuations portrayed in the news are nowhere to be found in the streets, subways, or convenience stores. On the other hand, many Chinese tourists in Japan have a more genuine reaction when they hear the name Xi Jinping. It's not that Japan is unsafe, but rather the shadow of speech restrictions, which follows them across the sea and can't be shaken off anywhere. Chinese people are clear that Sino-Japanese relations are tense, but beyond the political narrative, people still want to live normally, travel freely, and not be pushed around. The airport is still crowded, flights are still in high demand, and tourists are still shopping in Japan. These real details speak volumes. While some people are enjoying shopping in Japan, a large number of seemingly clever Chinese consumers are using AI to spark a wave of refund fraud. AI technology was meant to drive productivity and efficiency, but in China's e-commerce world, it has become weaponized. With platforms' long-standing buyer-first after-sales policies, AI's widespread use has exposed significant loopholes, resulting in an absurd and outrageous fake AI image refund trend. Sellers are describing it as their worst nightmare. Just after the intense Double 11 shopping event on November 11th, sellers were still recovering from the chaotic promotions when a wave of refund fraud suddenly hit the trending topics. Countless sellers posted complaints, sharing how AI-generated fake images, designed to look like solid evidence of a poor product, were draining their hard-earned profits. The hardest-hit victims are fruit sellers. Because fruit is perishable, the returns process is cumbersome, and shipping costs are high. Platforms often prefer to have sellers simply refund to quickly close cases. So the AI fraudsters have been targeting fruit sellers relentlessly. One fruit seller helplessly complained, "Each box of fruit is carefully selected," but customers sent photos showing fruit covered in bizarrely colored mold, as if it had been rotting long enough to hatch new species. Upon closer inspection, the mold patterns seemed too strange, like they had fallen out of a painting. Nothing looked real. But the platform didn't care. The buyer provided a photo, and the system automatically refunded them. The seller was furious, but could only accept the decision, saying the platform cares more about its reputation. Even if you're right, you can't explain it. These moldy images can be easily generated with AI, using a simple prompt like, "Make this fruit look moldy." Whether it's apples, grapes, or durian, AI can ruin them with one click. Even flowers can be wilted instantly. Without the original images for comparison, it's nearly impossible to tell what's real. There are even jokes online saying, "Our company has someone dedicated to fake AI image refunds. Now, durians are free." Besides fruits, plush toys, shoes, and clothes are also targeted. A seller of plush toys received photos from a buyer, showing the toy as if it had been rolled in a mud pit, with tears on its body as though a dog had ripped it. But upon closer inspection, the tears' directions and lighting were all wrong, clearly AI generated. Still, the platform ruled that the seller must issue a refund, and the system doesn't check the details. And it gets even crazier. One buyer bought a pair of new shoes, then sent a picture of the shoe's sole coming apart 3 days later, claiming poor quality and demanding a full refund. The seller zoomed in on the image and saw a watermark that read, "Doubao AI" in the bottom corner. They were livid. What's even sadder is that after the buyer's scam is exposed, instead of apologizing, they became furious. "If you dare refuse a refund, I'll leave you a bad review." Some buyers even take the seller's promotional images, use AI to manipulate them, and then reverse the process to lodge complaints. The public account, TechFox, clearly laid out the AI fraud tactics. First, they target small orders under 100 yuan. Second, they use AI image generation tools to make products look rotten, broken, or cracked. Third, they exploit the platform's automated image evidence review loophole, where the system simply sees damaged goods and automatically processes refunds. As a result, buyers easily get products for free, while sellers' appeals almost always fail. What's even more absurd is that this scam has been marketed as a money-making course. People are openly selling AI refund courses on platforms like Xiaohongshu, QQ groups, and public accounts, claiming, "We'll teach you everything. One account can get 30 refunds." This has gone beyond gray market practices to become an outright fraud industry. The most ironic part is that some sellers themselves use AI to generate perfect product images for promotions, but when customers receive the items, they're completely different. The bizarre AI-generated two-way scam has created a strange ecosystem of mutual fraud in China's e-commerce. TechFox made it very clear, technology is neither good nor evil, it's the human heart that's to blame. When the speed of forgery far exceeds regulation, when systems are exploited, platforms turn a blind eye, and sellers are left despairing, the entire e-commerce ecosystem is being quietly consumed. In the soil where disorder and opportunism thrive, no one is truly a winner. When a society loses its integrity, both buyers and sellers will ultimately suffer the consequences. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.